Hmm. Okay. Let's look if we actually got connection. I will have to check on my phone. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking good. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it could be a little. Well, actually, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So now we have this streaming. Very good. So welcome everybody. We will go through the preface to the Nectar of Instruction. So now we're actually starting with the book proper, but we will only have the introduction today. So the verse itself, verse 1, there are 11 verses in this book. It's a very small book, but very important. So we'll actually use almost 4 weeks with this to go through these verses. Yeah. So a little introduction about Rupa Goswami. Um, Before we start reading the preface, we'll just say a few words about Rupa Goswami. So you see the picture here. This is Rupa Goswami. So who is Rupa Goswami? He's one of the 6 Goswamis, which are called the Shad Goswami or 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Yeah, there's a whole song written about them. Maybe you've heard that one? Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Yugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. Uh, it's a very, very famous song in Iskcon. Kirtan, sometimes they're singing. She's saying all the good qualities of the Goswamis, and Rupa is one of them. Uh, for each of the verses, just like we have, in our Shiksha, I mean, not, what do you call it? Guru Ashtaka. You heard that one in the morning? In all temples, we have, in Mangalarti, Samsara Davana Lalita Loka, Tranaya Karunya Ganatvam, Taptasa Kalyana Gurnarnavasya, Vande Guru, Shicharana Ravindam, Vande Guru. Yeah. So this Vande Guru Shicharana Ravindam. So in the same way, this song is ending with Vande Rupa, Sanatano, Raghuyugo, Shijiva Gopalako. Yeah. It's the same, I'll just send the YouTube link now to the WhatsApp to our group there so they can follow. Just give me a second. To the what? Yeah, so we have this. I just copy paste and I'll go to the WhatsApp. Let's see, maybe I can do it here. It's easier. Yeah, yeah. So here we go. Mm, yeah. Just give me a second. I'll just have to copy this. Uh, this one, and we put it in our Sadhu Sangha group. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so now we just posted this in the Sadhu Sangha group, our YouTube link, because on the YouTube link we will be able to read side by side. Yeah, like that. So Christopher and me, we were trying to find out how to have both on Zoom and YouTube on the same time, the same picture, but still we didn't find out how to do. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we lost this one. Let's see. I have to go back and find our. That could be the other one. Let's see. Where is this? Here, yeah, 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 yeah. It was wrong. Now it's coming back. Yeah. Now we're going back to the preface. Yeah. So so Rupa Goswami is mentioned first. If you can hear, Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo. So Rupa and then it's Sanatana Goswami. And then it's Raghuyugo. It's two people of the 6 Goswamis there. They're called Raghunath Das Goswami and um Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. And then you have Shri Jiva Gopalako. And then you have Jiva Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Yeah. So why is Rupa Goswami the head of all these Goswamis? You know, you heard about Jiva Goswami, for example. He wrote so many books, so many. He wrote commentaries to the scriptures like this, and he wrote about our whole philosophy in the Sat Sandarbhas, 6 big books. Talks about Krishna, the science of the Jiva, science of Krishna, his ontological truths. He's a main theologian of the Vaishnavas. So in all, he made the book amounting to the Puranas, 400 over 400,000 verses. Jiva was writing. Jiva was writing more than Rupa Goswami. So why is Rupa Goswami the leader? And I've even heard that even Rupa Goswami, he wasn't even initiated formally. To talk about being a bhakta, he's not your ordinary bhakta. Bhakta actually means devotee anyway. Sometimes in Iskcon we call them bhakta, when they're not initiated. But he was serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the initiation. So anyway, he um, he became the best, or you can say the most well known because of his book. His literary contribution is very special. And one of the main books he wrote, it is this one, which we are talking about now, because he managed to capture the essence of Vaishnava practice in just 11, 11 verses. Yeah, this is a feat. And actually, some scholars they mean that actually this is some sort of yeah, some sort of introduction to his next magnum opus work, which is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That's probably the one he's most famous for. But devotees have said, you cannot, read, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That's the nectar of devotion. Yeah, and Upadesh Amrita, that's nectar of instruction. So you can see there is something similar. Upadesh Amrita, Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. So Amrita means nectar. Yeah, so that's why it's called the nectar. Yeah. Uh, because we cannot really understand, the big work of Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Devotion, before we have understood Nectar of Instruction. That's the thing. Um, so, so how did he get to so what is the Nectar of Devotion about? That is giving in detail, is quite detailed about the Vaishnava practice, the rules and regulations, for example, for deity worship, for the proper behavior, and so on. The definition, or all of the pure devotional service. Uttama Bhakti. One of the famous quotes from Prabhupada from that book is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Karmadi Anavritam Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. That the pure devotional service should be free of the knowledge, free of the desire for fruitive results. So free from karma and jnana, and also no other desires than service to the Lord, and also Krishna Anushilanam should be favorable to Krishna. It's said, Kamsa, he also did Krishna Smaranam. Kamsa, he was supposed to be killed by Krishna, so he always remembered Krishna day and night. But it was not favorable. It was not anukul, it was pratikul, unfavorable. Yeah. But it should be anukulyasya Krishna Anushilanam, and Anushilanam should follow in the footsteps of should follow what Krishna is doing. So that's, for example, why we say, that if we're a devotee of Krishna in the spiritual world, we don't have the different fashion. We have the same fashion as Krishna. We're also going to go around, in the same, kind of, outfit. Yeah. Of course, it can quickly be Sahaja when who talks, all these things. So that's why we're not. We are first starting with the Bhakti with the Upadeshamrita, because here we are qualifying ourselves. Because here, this book is actually divided into 3 parts. It's a Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is following the roots, Vidhi. Yeah. So that's most of the book. Until so the last three verses in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, they are going over to the high level. So then they go into Raganuga, which Raganuga is a spontaneous platform where one is no longer, obliged to follow the rules. And then the two last ones is Prema Bhakti and even, I mean, Bhava and Prema, yeah, Bhakti, the pure ecstasy or result of a proper Raganuga sadhana. Yeah. So only after going through the Vaidisana Bhakti, as Prabhupada also instructed, that's why, Iskcon movement has many rules and regulations. But Prabhupada also warned it's not the movement of the rules and regulations. We can't be stuck up in this. So that's why we're not going to read, just the first 8 verses of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and stop there. No, we're going to continue to 9, 10, and 11 also to actually, see why are we doing this, because this is actually where we're supposed to end up. So it's a very valuable book like this. But definitely we can't really understand about, the nectar of devotion before we have understood the nectar of the instructions. It makes sense, no? We have to take instructions before we can really have the pure devotion. Otherwise, what is called? It's called imitation bhakti. Yeah, because if we don't take any instruction, then we think we are already, the Shuddha bhakti with the pure devotee already, and then we can do like, and that is called sahaja. Yeah, and it's enough of these things in the world already, so we don't need to go that route. And usually, then the devotee is not actually that advanced, has a lot of pride, and will do what is called offenses. Yeah. So this book is teaching us to avoid offenses. And what is the first way we avoid offenses? It is by controlling our senses. That's why immediately just starts off that in order to be a guru, one has to control one's senses. Very simple. So anyway, we will just look a little bit about how did Rupa Goswami get all this knowledge? Because we just said, you need to get instructions and this. So did Rupa Goswami himself, is he up to the mark himself? Did he take instructions? Well, yes, he did. So who gave him the instructions? What do you think? Who instructed Rupa Goswami? Eh? Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very good guess. I think you already have read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah, yeah. So here we are in the Madhya Lila. Now you can see that one on the YouTube if you have that, but don't have the sound on. You can just turn off the sound. Yeah, because otherwise it becomes like a great echo. So or you can just look up in the database there. It's Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 19, text 1. So that's DC Madhya 19, text 1. Yeah. So let's see what that verse is saying. Vrindavaniyam rasakele vartam kalena luptam nidya shakti mutkaha pancharya rupe vyatanot punasa prabhu vidhau prag ivaloka shrishtim. Do you see the verse? Yep. Vrindavaniyam, related to Vrindavan, Rasa Kelevartam, talks about the pastimes of Sri Krishna, Kalena, with the course of time, Luptam, lost, Nidya Shaktim, his personal potency, Utkaha, being eager, Sancharya, infusing, Rupa to Rupa Goswami, Vyatanot, manifested, Puna, again, Sahi, Prabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vidhau, unto Lord Brahma, Prag Eva, as formerly, Loka Shrishtim, the creation of this cosmic manifestation. Okay, so what is said here? Translation. Before the creation of this cosmic manifestation, the Lord enlightened the heart of Lord Brahma with the details of the creation and manifested the Vedic knowledge. In exactly the same way, the Lord, being anxious to revive the Vrindavan pastimes of Lord Krishna, impregnated the heart of Rupa Goswami with spiritual potency. So you can say the choice of words, impregnating, yeah, because it's like a beach. It's a seed. That's often how it works, actually. uh, when it's just getting the essence, and then the devotee himself is expanding. Same happened with Narada Muni also. He got the essence from Lord Brahma, and then from just a few shlokas or a few verses, then Narada Muni himself, he expanded from his heart. He could say so much more. This is how it worked in the beginning of creation. They were called rishis because they got all the instructions in the heart. Or they, of course, Lord Brahma, he Tene Rida Brahma Yadi Kavaya, he got everything in the heart from Vishnu. It's not actually that he met Vishnu in front of him, he got it actually in the heart. But then he actually spoke to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni, he in his heart, he was just expounding that. But he actually had to take instructions, directly from his father, Brahma. But Brahma himself, he took instructions actually in the heart because he is the topmost human being. For Brahma, there is no difference in seeing externally and internally. But for us, there is. Yeah, yeah. So, uh, in exactly the same way, the Lord, being anxious to revive the Vrindavan pastimes of Lord Krishna, impregnated the heart of Rupa Goswami with spiritual potency. By this potency, Srila Rupa Goswami could revive the activities of Krishna in Vrindavan, activities almost lost to memory. In this way, he spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Yeah, and of course, it didn't stop with Rupa Goswami. Who followed after Rupa Goswami? Uh, we can look in our parampara. Yeah, many disciples following. Yeah, it was down for some time. Huh? His brother, yes, Sanatan, Rupa Sanatan, Raghuvigo. Have the six Goswamis, and Jiva Goswami, of course, he was writing so much. But actually, it's explained in one of Gaudiya Vaishnava literature. It was kind of covered for almost 400 years. It was actually predicted. You have Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was there, but then not so much in Balla Vidya Bhushanam. But in and large, it didn't really get outside India. It didn't really spread very much. It was kind of covered until one person. Who was that person? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He rediscovered, and he had the power to really, really start to spreading it. And so he was praying to have a ray of Vishnu as his son, and that was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who then really spread it. Actually, it said that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he discovered Rupa Goswami's books like that, but they were not very well known. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is translated by Prabhupada, that was also not very well known. He had just heard about it, and he was looking for over 1 year or maybe 2 years to find it, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But when he found it, I think he arranged that it could be printed and spread. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he followed suit and made mass distribution of all these books in India. And then, who was after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? Srila Prabhupada, yes. So he was the one chosen to spread it in the rest of the world. In this way, he spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So why this wording? It's because Prabhupada says we are Rupanugas. Anuga means we follow after. So Prabhupada, you know where he was? Prabhupada in Vrindavan, he was spending a lot of time in uh, the temple of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi. Yeah, what's the name of that temple again? I forgot the name of the temple, but it's a well-known fact that in the night he used to go and weep. I mean, cry and what you call sweep. Dust is called sweeping. Yeah, and same time weeping also, because there is some written accounts that somebody who was living in Vrindavan that time they came up in the night and they saw Prabhupada. He was crying, praying to Rupa Goswami, please empower me to go to the west because Srila Prabhupada had gotten the order from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati to go to the west. But where did Prabhupada take his power from? From Rupa Goswami. He stayed in the name escaped me, but it's one of the main temples. I visited this myself. It's in Vrindavan, and there is Rupa Goswami's tomb. Huge. Where he is buried. Yeah, it's like a huge tomb, memory place for him. And there Prabhupada was doing a lot of service. He was cleaning, around there. Even in the night, he was doing. So Prabhupada actually said, he got his power from Rupa Goswami. Yeah. So Rupa Goswami is not, just any, previous acharya. He's really the acharya. Okay. Just so we know where we are. Rupa Goswami is the leader of the Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas. He's the leader of the acharyas. So that's why Prabhupada said, we are Rupanugas. And other Vaishnava groups, Gaudiya Vaishnava groups, who are not in Iskcon, they have their own groups. Still, they're also saying the same thing. We are Rupanugas. So in that way, it's very important. So who is Rupa Goswami in the spiritual world? Rupa Manjari. Yeah, and he's serving forever in that form. So yeah, so he got in the heart all the knowledge, and who did he get it from? From Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is it's incarnation of Krishna. So we look at that. Then we go to text 115 of the same chapter, 19th chapter of Madhya Lila in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can see that on the YouTube and on your own phone also. I hope 115. So I show you text 1 and now we go to text 115. So exactly what was it that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching? So there it says Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva, Pranta. Taba Shikhaila Prabhu Bhagavata Siddhanta. Yeah, so what is this? Krishna Tattva, the truth about Lord Krishna. Bhakti Tattva, of the truth about devotional service. Rasa Tattva, of the truth about transcendental mellows. Pranta, the ultimate limit. Taba, all Shikhaila taught Prabhu Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhagavata Siddhanta, the conclusions of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. So Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Srila Rupa Goswami the ultimate limit of the truth about Lord Krishna, the truth about devotional service, and the truth about transcendental mellows, culminating in conjugal love between Radha and Krishna. Finally, he told Rupa Goswami about the ultimate conclusions of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, let's see what more. Ramananda Parshiyata Siddhanta Shunila, Rupa Kripa Karitata Sabara Sancharila. Yeah. So Ramananda Parsha from Ramananda Roy, Yatha, all Siddhanta, the ultimate conclusions, Shunila, he heard, Rupa, and to Sri Rupa Goswami, Kripakari, showing his causeless mercy, Tatha Sabha, all those Sancharila infused. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught to Rupa Goswami all the conclusions he had heard from Ramananda Roy, and duly empowered him so that he could understand them. This is how the Lord's pastimes are working. So suddenly here we hear that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had heard them from Ramananda Roy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is incarnation of Krishna himself. But he's playing the role, so he's also having guru. Yeah. And Ramananda Roy, he was actually not even a Brahmana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in a Brahmana, family. Ramananda Roy, he was in one high class family, but it was actually Shudra family. Yeah. It's just to show that bhakti is beyond all these, things. Very important. So Rupa Goswami, in other words, he didn't get anything new. It had already been delivered. Uh, well, through the succession of masters. Yeah. Let's see. So now we're on 117 of chapter 19 of Madhya Lila. So it says here, Shri Rupa Hridaya Prabhu Shakti Shancharila Sarva Tattva Nirupane Pravina Karila. Shri Rupa Hridaya, in the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami, Prabhu, Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shakti Sancharila, infused spiritual strength, Sarva Tattva, all conclusive truths, Nirupane, in ascertaining, Pravina Karila, made him fully experienced. Yes. So by entering the heart of Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered him to ascertain properly the conclusions of all truths. So then we should consider ourselves to be lucky if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is entering our hearts and just giving us all the conclusion of all the truths, not just truth. Often people are saying, no, we want to have the truth, but the conclusion of the truths is very ecstatic. He made him an experienced devotee whose decisions correctly agreed with the verdicts of the disciplic succession. Thus, Sri Rupa Goswami was personally empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What's the word here for empowered? Hmm, yeah, Shakti Shancharila. He gave him the Shakti. Yeah, empowered. Yeah, infused the spiritual strength into his being. So that's what happens if a disciple is really following his spiritual master. He or he, following the spiritual master, becomes empowered. Often we hear that in Iskcon, yeah. Sometimes talking about another devotee, something nice the other devotee did, and the devotees are saying, "She is empowered." No, it's a nice expression because it's true. Um, there is another place in Chaitanya Charitamrita that said the same thing that Krishna Shakti Vina Naik Tara Pravartana. One cannot broadcast, the Sankirtan movement of Krishna without having Krishna Shakti, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartana. Yeah. So everybody who is preaching, everybody who is even giving a book of Krishna to somebody else, they have got Krishna's Shakti. Because otherwise, if Krishna wouldn't agree, we wouldn't be able to do anything with our hands or mouth or nothing. And in another sense, it's just Krishna using the devotee as instrument. The famous saying in Bhagavad Gita, nimitta matram uh, bhavas savya sachin. Krishna says to Arjuna, just be an instrument in the fight, because Arjuna is starting to say, how can I do this? How can I fight? Just be an instrument. So back to the good old, surrender. Just surrender. Lord will take over you. The same thing in Christianity also, right? They say, just surrender to the Lord and you'll be filled up with the Holy Ghost, yeah, Holy Spirit. In the same way, if one do in Krishna consciousness, one will be filled up, with empowerment of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are actually many. It's not only Rupa Goswami became empowered. I read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. There was another. I forgot the name because it was many actually. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just hugging them, and they became, ecstatic and became devotees. And there is one devotee in Chaitanya Lila. I think it must be mentioned in the last book. Maybe it's mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat. That devotee, he became so filled up with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started acting as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He became like a facsimile of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like a small copy, not big copy, but and he got the same power. He could also preach, hug people, and make them devotees. It's amazing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made devotees just by hugging them. So this is like it's only possible to be done by a really empowered person. Usually you have to preach, you have to talk to them according to logic and philosophy. Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that also, uh, and by one's own example. Yeah, uh, uh, Achara Shikshailu said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was teaching also by behavior, and he told actually his disciples, you should preach with logic and philosophy, uh, like common sense even. Yeah, so that's why we have, again, back to the book. That's why we have this book, because this book is all about logic and common sense. It's not high flying. The three last verses are getting high, you can say, on the higher level. The first eight ones, they're very sober, extremely sober. Even it's used the word dhira, which means sober. Yeah. Only a person who is dhira can actually be the guru. Yeah. So what is this case that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing in ecstasy and hugging people and they become devotees? Well, this is for the Uttama Bhakti, very advanced Bhakta, but we have to work our way there by first getting rid of something called anartha. Yeah, anartha nivritti. So it's not like we shouldn't misunderstand. It's not like sometimes devotees they misunderstand. They think oh I'm a neophyte. I should just be morose. I should just work controlling my sense. No, we can be happy. We can dance in ecstasy, no problem. But if it will work in the long run to dance in ecstasy and hug people for making them devotees, that time will tell. It may be that on the way, at least, we'll find out that we may have some anarthas coming up, and we had to get rid of the anarthas. That's all. We can still be ecstatic. There's no problem. It's just that we also have to consider maybe we need to remove some anarthas. That if you still have some false ego, big pride or something, then that has to be kind of weeded out. We're transcendental gardeners. We take out, same time we're chanting and growing the Bhakti Lata Beach, the plant of devotional service, higher. Same time we take away the weeds, ugräs. Yep. So who is teaching us all this? Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai. Yeah. So Prabhupada says in the purport here to that last verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita 1917, he says, the principles of devotional service are only apparently under the jurisdiction of material activity. To be rightly guided, one must be personally guided by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This was the case with Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and other acharyas. Yeah. So personally guided by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are personally guided by our own guru, who is a representative of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. It's said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is operating, through actually Nityananda Prabhu is actually the original guru. It's said that guru is actually Balaram or Baladev, and Nityananda Prabhu is incarnation of Baladev. Yeah. So, but that's also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exactly same tattva actually. They're non-different actually. Uh, Gauranga Nitai, Chaitanya Nitai, they're like inseparable. Yeah, they cannot be separated actually. You can see what Prabhupada says after this. He says, let's see now, we just skip the Sanskrit, we just look directly here in the translation. In his book Chaitanya Chandrodaya Kavi Karnapura, the son of Shivananda Sena, has elaborately described the meeting between Srila Rupa Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, how is that meeting? Okay, let's look at the translation. Now we're on text 119 in the Madhya Lila 19th chapter. In the course of time, the transcendental news of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan was almost lost. To enunciate explicitly those transcendental pastimes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami with the nectar of his mercy to carry out his work in Vrindavan. Uh, I think you already know that Vrindavan, who kind of rediscovered Vrindavan? It was Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. They were sent by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to do that. At that time, Vrindavan was a jungle. Yeah. It's full of holy places. You can go there and say there Krishna was sitting in the tree, I mean, beside the tree. There is, he was killing the Kala, he was dancing on the hoods of the snake. Yeah. There he was killing, the Bakasura, the duck demon. Yeah. And there is, Shakatashura, he was lying under the charge. And like all these different places you can go and see. But were these places, clear for tourists before Rupa Goswami came there? No, it was nothing. Absolutely. Well, some local people they knew a few places, but it was not really, settled pilgrimage place. But they went and discovered all these places and marked them. They wrote them down and made sure, that these were taken care of. And they discovered also Radhakund, Shyamakund, where Krishna and Radha had their respective waters like this. So they did enormous work for the Vaishnavas. We call our line for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. There's a reason. You think the other Vaishnava, what other Vaishnavas do we have? There's four Vaishnava, groups, right? Who are the four Vaishnava groups? So our group, we are the Brahma Sampradaya, Brahma. Yeah. Then the other one is Kumara Sampradaya. And then the other one is Lakshmi Sampradaya, or Shri is another word of Lakshmi. And then you have Rudra, Rudra Sampradaya. So these are all Vaishnava Sampradayas. But the Gaudiya Sampradaya is the one we are in, coming from Brahma, because after Brahma is Madhvacharya, and then uh, actually Vyasadeva and Madhvacharya, and then is Narada, Vyasadeva, Madhvacharya, and then comes Madhavendra Puri. He actually comes from Madhvacharya's group, I think. But he started experiencing the Mahabhava, the real highest love between Radha and Krishna. So he actually made his own line, you can say, which branched away from Madhvacharya's. I think it was the spiritual master before Madhavendra Puri. There's one before also. Some or other it became separate. And then Madhavendra Puri, he had a disciple, Ishvara Puri, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he met him. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Ishvara Puri, then Gaudiya Vaishnavism was born proper. So at the birth of Gaudiya Vaishnavism was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because where was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from? What was his place? It was Gaudiya. Um, so Gaudiya, I think is that this area of Bengal where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was where he had his activities. It's also called Gaudiya. So that's why it's called Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Um, so for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, then the Rupa Goswami is the head because he was specifically empowered, and together with the other Goswamis. So the Shat Goswamis, they're leaders of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the six Goswamis, and Rupa Goswami is the leader of them. Yeah. And they excavated all these places in Vrindavan, and then Vrindavan became more and more popular. More and more pilgrims came there, and what did they do? They opened temples. Did the six Goswamis also open temples? Yes, they did. There are a few stories even in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sanatana Goswami opened one temple, this famous pastime. Sanatana Goswami is there sitting chanting, and he's finding some or other. He has a dream, I think, and he's digging out, the deity of Krishna. Yeah, And then, he starts giving Krishna one chapati or a couple of chapatis a day, even without salt. And then there is, Dita is complaining, why at least give me some salt. And Sanatana Goswami, sorry, I don't have, any means. I just have to sit and chant. And then, one salt merchant, he crashes with his boat on the shore nearby. And somehow the Sanatana Goswami helps him, so the government can come and help him or something. And the salt merchant is so thankful. He says he's not only giving Sanatana Goswami salt, so he can have salt in the chapatis. He's offering that he can give him a whole temple. So then, Sanat Goswami, he makes the whole temple, sponsored by this, businessman. And he then gives, what's the name of that deity? I forgot. You have three main deities in Vrindavan. They stand for each, level of advancement. That's a separate discussion anyway. But this deity is one of these three, holy deities of Krishna. So then this deity is properly installed and getting all very opulent, prasadam after that. So there are a few temples in Vrindavan established by the Goswamis, and then their followers have established so many more. So now I think Prabhupada said that Vrindavan has 5,000 temples or more. At least now there is at least 5,000 temples. Have you been to Vrindavan? Yeah, it's full. It's so much activity. And all of this was because of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami starting this, because on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course. Yeah. So let's see what the next verse says. From the very beginning, Srila Rupa Goswami was deeply attracted to the transcendental qualities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus, he was permanently relieved from family life. Permanently relieved. That's a good saying. Not temporarily. So Srila Rupa Goswami and his younger brother Vallabha were blessed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although the Lord was transcendently situated in his transcendental eternal form at Prayag, he told Rupa Goswami about transcendental ecstatic love of Krishna. The Lord then embraced him very fondly and bestowed all his mercy upon him. So apparently it was at Prayag that he instructed him. Yeah. And how many days did he instruct him? I heard that it was 10 days. 10 days of instructions. Yeah. It's easy to remember. You have, Das Avatar, 10 incarnations of Krishna. So for 10 days, Rupa Goswami, just imagine if you met your guru and the guru instruct you for 10 days. But when we're meeting our spiritual masters, then something very special happened, because even very short time, you can get very much out of it, because it's so potent to know the instruction. It's actually said that when the guru is giving, your actual guru is giving you instructions, you are also getting the power to do that, mission that the guru is asking us to do. It's actually possible because of the power of the guru's vani. Yeah, it's two things from guru we're getting: vani and vapu. Vapu is the body. So the disciple try and serve the body of the guru if he can, but more important is to serve the vani. It's called vani seva. Yeah. In the internet, the Prabhupada disciple he made, Prabhupada followers has made Vanipedia. Yeah, put Prabhupada, all things. It's Vanipedia. You're serving the instructions of Prabhupada instead of Wikipedia. Yeah, like that. So we're also following Rupa Goswami's Vani, which actually Prabhupada's Vani is actually Rupa Goswami's Vani. On the absolute level, there is no difference actually. It's all pure, and it's really the same importance and message. Yeah. So let's see. What's the next? 121 in chapter 19. Indeed, Srila Rupa Goswami, whose dear friend was Swarup Damodar, was the exact replica of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Well, did you read that? It says that Rupa Goswami was a replica of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's not bad. And he was very, very dear to the Lord. Being the embodiment of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love, Rupa Goswami was naturally very beautiful. He very carefully followed the principles enunciated by the Lord, and he was a competent person to explain properly the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expanded his mercy to Srila Rupa Goswami, just so he could render service by writing transcendental literatures. So do we now understand why Rupa Goswami is really the leader of all the Vaishnavas? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his mercy to so many people, but especially to Rupa Goswami, he gave very, very confidential mercy, the most confidential. So are we now interested in learning from Rupa Goswami's book? I think so. My interest also doubled now after reading this. Let's see what more is there. Yeah, so 122. The characteristics of Srila Rupa Goswami have thus been described in various places by the poet Kavi Karnapura. An account has also been given of how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed his causeless mercy upon Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami. So why are they mentioned together, Rupa and Sanatan? What do you think? Why are they mentioned together? You always say Rupa and Sanatan. What's their connection between Rupa and Sanatan? They were brothers. Exactly. That's why they're mentioned. They were brothers. So you remember their backstory? They were actually born in Brahmana families, but they were taken in by because the government was Muslim, so they were taken in kind of forced to work for the in as ministers for the king. Yeah. But in their spare time, when they were not working with the ministers, they just worked with the scriptures. This was before they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I heard one account was like Rupa and Sanatan. They were sitting and they already started writing scriptures actually before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Even they started writing, uh, and they had like many Brahmana scribes. I think it was something like maybe 10 Brahmanas or even more sitting there. And Rupa was like saying one verse, and one Brahmana was writing, and he said the next word to the next Brahmana. So they were all writing like in tandem, one after the other after the other. In that way, they composed their books. They were very effective. So they had a lot of and when they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then both Rupa and Goswami and Sanatana Goswami they asked for sick leave. They said they are sick. But one time, the Kasi, or the Muslim leader of he wondered, why my minister is not working. He came, to their place to see, and then he was seeing, they're sitting there instructing all these brahmanas with the scriptures. Of course, became angry. I think it was Sanatana Goswami there that he found doing this, and then he just put Sanatana Goswami in the jail, right? You heard that story? He was in the jail, and how was it? Rupa Goswami, he arranged that he got some money to go out or something like that. Yeah. So it just show, the higher principle than doing your duty. Yeah, I mean, your job. We should really do our job properly. We should do our job immaculately, because then we will have energy and time to do our devotional practice. But there are exceptions. If the Lord has incarnated in your neighborhood and calling you to come, then you can actually, you know, you can even say you're sick and try and avoid, just to go to the Lord's, direct service. Yeah. So Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were the objects of love and honor for all the great stalwart devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I think we'll end with this. If someone returned to his country after seeing Vrindavan, the associates of Lord will ask him questions. Yes, now we're going on to, let's see. Yeah, they will ask those returning from Vrindavan, how are Rupa and Sanatan doing in Vrindavan? What are their activities in the renounced order? How do they manage to eat? These were the questions asked. Yeah, so just so we have that clear, they were in the renounced order. So Goswami is a title given to people who are sannyasis, right? In Iskcon we also have. Sometimes I was wondering about that. In Iskcon we have Swami and we have Goswami, and we heard that Goswami means go is the senses, so you're controller of the senses, and then the other one is just or master of the senses, and the other one is just master. How does it work? Uh, you heard about why somebody is called Goswami in Iskcon and somebody is called Swami? It's said in there. Yeah, I think it's said in there. Yeah. What is Prabhupada saying there? Yeah, it's a definition of a definition of Goswami, and then you have Godas. It means you become a servant of your senses. Yeah, but why is it called Goswami and not Swami in Iskcon? Some people are called Swami. Uh, I heard that in Iskcon they give Goswami to the person who has been married before, and then he become sannyasi. Yeah, but there are some exceptions to that also. Because there are a few swamis in Iskcon who were married and they're just called swami. But most of them who are Goswami, they are those who were married before. That I've heard. I believe that. I don't think it's just random that somebody's called Goswami and some Swami. Yeah. For example, my own spiritual master is called Goswami because he was married before. Yeah. So at least I saw these examples that those who I know who is called Goswami in ISKCON, they have been married, and those who are Swami, they were never married. in the Nectar of Devotion that you were reading. Okay, yeah, the explanation of Goswami. Yeah. Okay, so I think we will stop there, but we will go now to the preface. But any comments or questions? So now we had a little background, on Rupa Goswami. Actually, you have some questions? Because this is just a little history. There is a very nice. I see if I can find this verse. I think I'll find this here because we will just go through the prayer to Rupa Goswami, which often we are. It's a Rupa Pranam mantra. Yeah, we'll just end with that before we start reading actually the preface, because there that mantra is asking for the blessings of Rupa Goswami to actually become a devotee. Prabhupada was saying this mantra very often. Uh, let's see. I'll just write here. Manu Vishta. Manu Vish. Vish. Yeah, if it comes up. Yeah. Uh, Shri Chaitanya Manu Vishtam. Tapatam Yena Bhutala Swayam Rupakalamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. I just see where is the source of that. Um, it's hmm. Yeah, Prabhupada is writing about that in Nectar of Devotion. Yeah, so we can go there. Yeah. So here's the verse. If you look on the YouTube, you can see I found the verse. It's called the Sri Rupa Pranama. Yeah. You see it on YouTube? Yeah. Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam. Sorry, Sanskrit. Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Thapitam Yena Bhutale Vayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam. I think Prabhupada also mentioned that in the Bhagavad Gita. It's a very nice prayer to say. So what does it mean? There is no direct translation here. I should find another way, another place. The Prabhupada, at least he says, if you want to preach the gospel of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then the personalities was established by writing these books. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Hari Bhakti Vilas, Vidagda Madhava, so many books they have written. So we must go through them, must try to understand. Then we can understand what is Chaitanya Charitamritam, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mangalar. There are so many Chaitanya Chandrodaya by Prabhupada Saraswat. So many devotees, they have given us so many high literatures, so we should consult. Therefore, the prayer is Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishkam Staptam Yena Bhutale. Yeah. So persons who establish the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Padantikam, when will they give shelter of their lotus feet? Yeah. So so what it means, is uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had a desire, yeah. Mano Mano Abhishtam, he had a desire in his mind, yeah. What was that? Tapitam, he wanted to establish Yena Bhutale on this earth, yeah, on this planet. Swami Rupa Kadama, he had a desire, he wanted to establish Krishna consciousness on this earth. Yeah. And who did that? Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Who gave that? It was Rupa Goswami who fulfilled the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll find the proper translation here. I think Prabhupada has it in Bhagavad Gita. Let's see. Mm, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, here it said. Uh, it's in the Bhagavad Gita lecture. Okay, when will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me the shelter under his lotus feet? Yeah. So, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in other words, when Krishna appears, he has a desire to fulfill. Is it clear? In Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna says? He says, Yadaya Dahi Dharmasya Glanir. Whenever the Dharma is going bad, when people are becoming, not following so nicely religion like that, Avyutanama Dharmasya, he says, I come, Yajaya Dahi Dharmasya Glanir. He come, how is this verse again? Do you have the Bhagavad Gita? Yeah. Or I have it. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Actually, I can find it here. I have the local book. Let's see. Because it said that Krishna is coming to establish the Dharma, but he's also coming to protect his devotees. Yeah, 64. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's Bhagavata 4:7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice of descendants of Bharata and the predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Bhagavata 4:7. So they're actually Prabhupada is saying something very interesting. Yeah, the Prabhupada says that hmm, let's see. Yeah. So the whole purpose of the mission of incarnations is to arouse Krishna consciousness everywhere. Yeah, that's one of that's the last, the almost last sentence. The two last sentences of this purpose says the whole purpose of the mission of incarnations is to arouse Krishna consciousness everywhere. Third consciousness is manifest and non-manifest only under different circumstances. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give the Krishna consciousness. Yeah. But when the Lord take an incarnation, does he do everything himself? Like Krishna, was he fighting, himself to establish Dharma? Who helped Krishna? Who was the right-hand man of Krishna? Arjuna. Yes, correct. Arjuna. So like ordinary human being, not ordinary, he was extraordinary, but he was playing the role of human being. Nar Uttamam is also called Arjuna. He's the best of human beings. But Krishna, he plays that role that whenever he comes, he takes help from his devotees to do that. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming, who is he taking help from instead of Arjuna? It's Rupa Goswami. Yes, of course he's coming with Nityananda, but that's actually just Balaram. But when you talk about the Lord taking help, from one of the humans, then he took help, from Arjuna or even Pandavas. And in the same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he takes help from Chaitanya and Nityananda. Nityananda is also, he's also taking help from his devotees. Uh, but the right hand man of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually Rupa Goswami, and also the other Goswamis. So they're the closest. Uh, so that's why on the altar, why do we have the six Goswamis there? They're very significant. They were directly, so you see, we have in our temple in Bergen, for example, we have Gauri Nitai, and then immediately after there is a Shad Goswami, six Goswamis picture is there, because after Chaitanya and Nityananda is the six Goswamis. So is it clear now? Rupa Goswami is very important. He's right there after Chaitanya and Nityananda. There is nobody in between there. There is nobody. Chaitanya, Nityananda, and then Rupa Goswami. Finished. Yeah. So we are really in a good situation if we can read Rupa Goswami's book, The Nectar of Instruction. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what more can we go through here. Uh, yeah. Yeah, that was it. So well, actually, yeah, I think I briefly mentioned, but the acharyas have they have a kind of given four different. What was the main job of Rupa Goswami that he was getting from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave you can say four missions, not just one mission, but four of them. Of course, the mission is to establish Krishna consciousness, spread Krishna consciousness, but it was kind of divided. Maybe you've heard before. So one of them, which I already mentioned, was to rediscover. First mission Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to Rupa Goswami was rediscover the pastime places of Lord Krishna. So he went to Vrindavan and he found all these places and established them, and then temples were coming, and now Vrindavan is, the most holy place in the world. full of pilgrimage places, which were, rediscovered by Rupa Goswami. And then number two, establish the deities of Lord Krishna and start the temple worship. So that also Rupa Goswami, he was starting together with his brother Sanatan and all the four other Goswamis. Like Bhatta Goswami, he was part of starting, the one of the most famous temples in India, the Radha Raman temple. You've seen this small, Krishna deity, Radha Raman, very beautiful. Uh, so that was also one of the tasks of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami and all the other followers. But Rupa Goswami, he got this directly from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as a leader, he got all the others also to that, start a proper temple worship. So that's why in his book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there is like a big section of following all the rules of the deity worship. Yeah, 64 rules of deity worship like this, and avoid all the offenses. And then number three, the third task Rupa Goswami got. Now this is not difficult because we already talked about his books, this book, that book. Yes, write the Bhakti Shastras. Prabhupada is using that term, Bhakti Shastras, and now we are taking Bhakti Shastri. Yep. And lo and behold, two of the books we are studying for Bhakti Shastri is Rupa Goswami's books. It's the Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion, or Padashamrita and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So these are Bhakti Shastras. And when we know the Bhakti Shastras, then we are Bhakti Shastri. Yeah. And the fourth instruction Rupa Goswami got. So don't just rediscover the pastime places of Krishna, make all these nice places of pilgrimage. People can come and see and be purified. Don't just establish the deities and the deity worship. Don't just write the books, but preach bhakti yoga. Yes. So not only just having, but actually personally preaching. So he was doing that also. Yeah. All glories to Srila Rupa Goswami. Yeah. So we will now start looking. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Let's take a pause here. Yeah. So we have time to take a good breath. We'll go to the preface to the nectar of instruction after this. Yeah, so take your time, between 5 and 10 minutes, and then hopefully we can get some more people to join. Yeah. Yeah. Houses. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and of all other preceptors on the path of devotional service. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas and unto the six Goswamis, including Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and their associates. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all his devotees, headed by Sri Vas Thakur. I then offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, and all the gopis headed by Lalita and Vishaka. And then Shri Rupa Goswami Pranam. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Primata Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namana Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashkatya Deshatarine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna on this earth, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Hmm? Oh, I was just reading, the standard prayers that we do, before. Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's looking for next. It's not there, Prabhu. No, sorry. You can have the Norwegian one. Yeah, it's only one English, which I need myself. No, actually, you can have it actually because I have it on the computer. Take this. No, 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 because I actually have it on computer. Okay, yeah, very good. That was smart. You brought your own hard copy book. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so thank you. We just had a 10-minute break, 5-10 minute break. So I hope our live viewers are okay with that. You didn't really have a choice anyway. So, so now we are back, and we are actually now starting to read the preface of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So what is the meaning of preface? Preface is some sort of introduction. Yeah. Um, it's a shorter introduction. Yeah. So do you have the preface in front of you here? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, nectar instruction. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Um, so everybody clear with that? It's the nectar of instruction. Yeah. It's also, that's also the nectar actually of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's also Chaitanya's Amrit, because as we heard, we just make a little recap for Bill Prabhu. We learned that actually, where did Rupa Goswami get all this, information from? This transcendental realization, he got it from being instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 10 days at Prayag. Yeah, he got very nicely instructed about all the secrets of Bhakti Yoga, both Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and the Raganuga Bhakti. Yeah, and then Rupa Goswami, filled up with that knowledge, he could then go on to write this book. Yep, which we are now discussing. And after that, which book did he write? Well, he wrote many different books, but the main work of Rupa Goswami is the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Nectar of Devotion, which also is part of our Bhakti Shastri course. So, and as also you missed many things, was that he was instructed in writing Bhakti Shastras. Yeah. So Bhakti Shastras he was asked to write, and this is a Bhakti Shastri course because we have two Rupas Goswami's books out of four. Yeah, like that. And he was also asked to preach Bhakti Yoga, and he was asked to establish the deities of the Lord and the temples of the Lord, the deity worship, and also rediscovering the pastime places of the Lord in Vrindavan. Yeah, these were four tasks that Rupa Goswami also got from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. So when we are getting instruction from our guru, we may not get so many different or demanding tasks. We may get something more simple. But he said whatever task we're getting from our guru, the in the instructions of the guru, the power to actually do it is baked in. Yeah. So if we're asked to wash, the temple, we can do that. We will have the power. Yeah. For example. Okay. So in the same way, if we're asked to go through, the book of Rupa Goswami, we will be able to do that. It will not be difficult. Yeah. So maybe actually one of you would like to read, because I've been reading a lot. Yeah. So I will just scroll down as you're reading. Yeah. Just take one paragraph at a time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. She cannot hear you. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I'm reading. Yeah. The Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the six Goswamis of Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung. So anyway, just so we get it in perspective, when was Narottam Das Thakur active? I think it was after all of these close associates with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they had already disappeared, right? But there is a very nice story that one time, before Narottam Das Thakur was even born, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how is that story again? He was just crying out, Narottam, Narottam, Narottam. And he was bathing in some lake, something like that, right? And then 120 years later or something, then Narottam Das Thakur, somewhere or other, he's bathing in that lake. And then he becomes empowered like anything. I think the story goes like that. And then he becomes, the Narottam Das Thakur that we know, because he was bathing in that lake, empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. Because you know what Narottam Das Thakur did? He was making all these songs, and he made them in Bengali language, but they're fully with potency so much that Acharyas has said, Narottam Das Thakur's songs are just as good as the Shastras. But he made them very simply available for the common people who doesn't know Sanskrit. You know, because in Bengali is very easy language compared to Sanskrit. In that way, Narottam Das Thakur was an amazing preacher. So even today we are using his songs. Anyone know Narottam Das Thakur songs we are using? Let's see. What is uh, what is that song? We are definitely using one of his songs. Let's see. I'll look that up. Narottam Das Thakur. I have my Vaishnava. Of course, if you have a Vaishnava songbook, you will find it easily. Uh, mm, yeah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Koro More. Is that one? Ramachandra Sangamaga. Ramachandra. I think this one. That's from Narottam Das Thakur. This we're singing always in Mayapur. You see, should be here one place. Uh, see, where is that one? Narottam Das Thakur, yeah. Uh, yeah, for example, he has this famous song, Hari Hari Bipale Jannama Gunainu, Manushya Janma Paya, Radha Krishna Nabhaja, Janya Shunya Bishakainu. He says, oh Lord Hari, I wasted my life. Although I have taken this rare human birth like a miser, I have not served Radha and Krishna, and thus I have knowingly drunk poison. And this other one, Golakira Premadana Harinama Sankirtana, Retana Janmilokenatai. The treasure of divine love in Golok Vrindavan has descended as a congregational chanting of Lord Hari's holy names. Why did my attraction for that chanting never come about? Day and night my heart burns in the fire of the poison of worldliness, and I have not accepted the means for leaving it. Uh, he had many songs, a little bit in the style also Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where he's very much humble. He's saying, "Oh, I have wasted my time. I was into all this sense gratification, like that." Very exalted. Yeah, yeah. So he has this songbook. Narottam Das Thakur has this famous songbook called Prarthana. Yeah, of course. Now I know Narottam Das Thakur. He has the song the Guru Vandana. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. This is Narottam Das Thakur. Yeah. So we're singing his song every day. Yeah. Okay, so he has a song here. Rupa Raghunatha Pada Haibe Akuti Kabahama Bhujhabase Yugala Piriti. Prabhupada said, therefore Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung, when am I eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis? Then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. That's pretty strong statement. He says, only when I read the books of the Goswamis. So you want to understand the transcendental loving affairs between Radha and Krishna? Read the books of the Goswamis. And which book should we start with? Yes, because we need to get instruction first before we can jump into the nectar of the devotion. So you can repeat after me. Before jumping into the nectar of devotion, you have to jump into the nectar of instruction. So first, yes, sir, commando, work hard, control the senses. After you can enjoy it. Yeah, but it doesn't take long. It's only 8 verses. Because I said this book is divided into three. First part, first 8 verses is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. The sadhana according to the rules, sense control and all this. And then it's Raganuga sadhana bhakti. And then it's about prema bhakti. I mean bhava and prema bhakti. Yeah. But we cannot skip this part. Cannot jump directly into the prema bhakti because we will be unqualified. Thank you so much. So Shri Chaitanya, now we're reading further in the purport. Yeah, sure. We need air circulation. That's part of Vaidhi regulations for being able to breathe properly. Otherwise, our brain cannot really digest all these things. Yeah. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the science of Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. So, I mean, we're hearing that often, what does it mean, conjugal love? Conjugal, what does it mean? Sometimes we're just reading, the conjugal. Well, as far as I understand, conjugal, it means like, what does it mean actually? Huh? What? Couple. Yeah, the couple. Yeah, you can, yeah, you can look it up maybe. Yeah, why I'm saying that I was inspired by the classes given by Pradyumna Prabhu when he was here because he said, we're also reading all these things, but sometimes we actually look them up. We'll be surprised actually. Marriage. Ah, but he's not married to the gopis, is he? Relationship of spouses. Okay, okay. I think Madhurya Rasa is also called conjugal love, but there you have it's divided into two, and one is what was the Sanskrit again? One is when there is married, and one is with the lover, which is not married. Yep. So in that way, is the conjugal love working? So in the marriage, as far as I know, usually that is with Aishwarya. It is in Dwarka and in Mathura. There, Krishna is married, right, to the queens. In Vrindavan, he's not. He's actually not married. Is Krishna married in Vrindavan? Yes or no? No. So in that way, he's Parakiya rasa. Yeah, Parakiya. Vakya is married, and Parakiya, Para means other. So others' wives he has affair with. Yeah. The worst sin in the material world is the highest, pleasure for Krishna in the spiritual world. But actually, in order to save it, actually, there is a story actually given by acharyas. I don't remember which, but it's also given by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. There is an account that actually some or other Lord Brahma, he came along, and Krishna was just a small child, and he arranged that he just got married to all the gopis. Lord Brahma, if Lord Brahma is arranging your marriage, are you married or not? Of course you're married. He's Lord Brahma. He's the creator of everybody. But it was unknown to all others. So it looks like Krishna has affairs, but actually he was actually properly married by Lord Brahma. Yeah. So they have saved it. Lord Brahma is a very intelligent person. So people are criticizing, oh, how Lord can be immoral, showing this. No, Lord Brahma arranged. He was married already to everybody. And Prabhupada also said, actually everybody is actually married to Krishna. He's the original husband. Yeah. Okay, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Sri Mata Radharani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis. So who is the first Goswami? Let me hear you say. Rupa. Yes. And Sanatan. Who is Sanatan? Yeah, yeah, brother. Thank you. Yeah. And now it's become more difficult. Now let's see how wise you are. Who is Bhatta Raghunath? Or actually, he's usually called Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Yeah. Um, I'm also really not so sure which is who, but I think Raghunath Das Goswami, that was the one who he wrote the book. Most of he wrote more books. And Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, I don't remember. I don't think he left so much literature, but he was definitely one of the followers. He was family connected like that to to one of these Goswami. He was in the family, something like this. And Jiva Swami, who was Jiva Swami? That's the one. Do you remember? I said, he was writing the most prolific writer of all. He wrote like over 400,000 shlokas in all of his books. He wrote commentaries to so many scriptures, and yeah, he wrote the Sad Sandarbhas, which are it's like a theological work where we can understand all the Krishna theology. You have Krishna Sandarbha, all about Krishna, what is the technicalities around Krishna, and how is the technicalities with Bhagavan, and with the Jiva, and with Prema, and all these things is explained very thoroughly. Yeah, and then Gopal Bhatta Goswami, that's the one who he wrote. He had a few books about. He was specifically into the deity worship, as far as I remember, and he's also involved in the establishment of the Radharaman temple. I think he founded the deity of Radharaman, right? Something like this. And Raghunath Das, well, he wrote also a lot of this Gaudiya Vaishnava literature about the higher topics of Radha and Krishna. And as far as I remember, he was actually instructed. Yeah, he was living very poorly. He was instructed to be very, very austere. You know this story, Raghunath Das Goswami was outside, the Jagannath Puri temple, and he didn't want to eat, the prasad. He just ate what was thrown away. And even the cows, they were eating, all the prasadam rejected by the public. And even what the cows didn't want to accept, that Raghunath Das Goswami was eating. Yeah. And then one time he was out there eating, the remnants, which the cows even didn't accept. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came along and said, "Oh, you're having a feast without inviting me." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also was eating together with him and then was hugging him, giving him his blessings. Yeah. Okay. So, but Srila Rupa Goswami, he was the leader of all the Goswamis. And to guide our activities, he gave us this Upadeshamrita, nectar of instruction to follow. So, did I tell you about how is Upadesh Amrita constructed? The word, it's a compound word. It's based on two things, Upadesha and Amrita. Yeah. So, what is Upadesha meaning? Instruction. Yeah. And what is Amrita meaning? Wow, you're really bright. You're really scoring high now. Oh yeah, yeah. But if you go a little deeper, yeah, on that, this is the thing with Sanskrit words. They have more is baked into it. And it also means like, yeah, the nectar of immortal ambrosia, So in other words, the nectar which give you immortality, because this is Amrit is explained, the demigods, they can drink this and then they are living, longer or whatever. Yeah. So I'm not making commercial for going to heavenly planets because actually it doesn't last forever because the karma is stopping. Even though they drink this somarasa or Amrit, they're for a little bit longer, but eventually they have to go down. Pini punya martya lokam vishamti. Yeah. They have to go back to martya loka, to the plant of death. They're also not directly dying. That's why it's not the place of the death. So people are misunderstanding. They think heaven is not the place of death, right? But it's they're not dying like we are dying. It's the place of time is up. That's the heavenly planets. It's just like seeing a movie. Are you dying after the movie is finished? No, you just asked to get out of the locals. If you don't get out, there is a guard there to kick you out, right? When the movie is finished, it's finished, right? Even though you paid for the movie, you still have something left of your popcorn. You cannot sit and eat the rest of the popcorn. You can only sit until the text scroll is finished. But then, they were looking, okay, when are you going? In the same way you are in heaven, you can enjoy like ending and you have the karma for it, you have paid. But when the time is up, they're just, okay, they just simply kick you out and you kick down and then you're just born again on Earth planet. That's the explanation. But there is no gruesome death. There is nothing like that. You just and then just entering another womb to be born as human. So that's why it's called that. It's a the place free from the death. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Shikshastaka, Rupa Goswami gave us Upadeshamrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. Yeah, you heard about the Shikshastaka? Yeah. It's 8 verses by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ketu Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. That he talks only about what is chanting Hare Krishna. That's 8 verses just talking about that, the effects of chanting Hare Krishna. In many temples we are chanting this. Are you doing that in Copenhagen? For some period we did it, but maybe you're chanting the 10 offenses against the whole name that you usually did. Yeah. When I was in India, in the temple in India, we were chanting Shikshashtaka every day, and then you learn it easily by heart. It's a very good prayer to learn. Yeah. So in the same way, Rupa Goswami Upadashamrita can also be learned by heart because it's just 11 verses. Yeah. And actually, we have to learn a few of them by heart if we're going to get the Bhakti Shastri degree. Yeah. But I think it's only 2, 3 verses. So Prabhupada says, in all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Yes. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattva-guna, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami, and then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. So we already, actually probably describe it now what it means, Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In Vrindavan, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. So actually, this is a funny thing. Usually in Iskcon, not just usually, if you're called Goswami in Iskcon, that means you are a sannyasi. So now is the big question. The Goswamis in Vrindavan who are heading the temples, are they sannyasis? No, it's just a family title, Goswami. Yes, that's, but they can be a sense control anyway. You don't need to be a sannyasi to be a sense controller, right? So, but in Iskcon, we are, oh, now I only have 5% battery power left, but I think I will just be able to finish. We just have 9 minutes left, and this power is not working. But it would just be enough. Yeah. So, one who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means the senses, and Swami means the master. Yeah. So it's also a little extra thing in baked in that because go also means cows. Yeah. So what is the name of Krishna? Another name, Gopal. Yeah. Gopalate iti Gopal. See, he's taking care of. Pala means to be a friend, or pal, actually, pal, be a friend, or he's protector. He's protecting the cows, and he's protecting our senses, right? And in the same way, the gopis, they're the female, the gopa and gopi, yeah. So they're also protecting the cows, milking the cows, but at the same time, they're controlling their senses, right? That there is like inbaked little extra purport, that actually all the devotees are very much controlling their senses. It's not just by chance, that this kind of connection you can find, yeah. So unless one controls his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions known as Upadeshamrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Yep. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books, such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagda Madhava, and Lalita Madhava. So what is Vidagda Madhava and Lalita Madhava? These are theater plays. Yep. You can make a theater play with these books. The different inhabitants in Krishna Lila, they're speaking with each other, and there is some interaction and stories. Yeah. But Upadeshamrita constitutes the first instruction for neophyte devotees. So what are we? Neophyte devotees. Yes. Just so that is clear. Yeah. No offense. I mean, this is Prabhupada's instruction. One should follow these instructions very strictly. Then it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So thank you so much. Now, any comments or questions? I'm sure you have a lot of comments and questions now. Yeah, please. Yeah, 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 yeah. Krishna. Okay, I hope you're still on the YouTube, Thea, because my battery was now flat on the Zoom. God. So the answer, she was asking, Thea was asking, did you hear what she was asking? She said she read in the Bhagavatam that you actually cannot control your senses. You can just control your desires. Yeah, you cannot control the mind. Yeah, and the mind is the place for the senses. So you can only control your desires. Yeah, so that's correct. So who will control our senses? Gopal. Krishna is actually controlling our senses. This has been explained actually. And how? If we have the pure desires. Yeah. If we develop the desire to serve Krishna, our senses will automatically be controlled. Yeah. Otherwise, if we don't serve Krishna, then our senses will be controlled by the illusory energy. So our senses, we're never really in control, either in control by Krishna or they're controlled by Maya. Yeah. We are just helpless actually in a pretty great way. But still, huh? When we chant Hare Krishna, yeah, we will be, in the right mood, operation, and then we can use our senses in the service of Krishna. How is that verse again? Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. It's called Bhakti when we're using our senses in the service of the master of the senses, right? Rishika Ishvara. Yeah. So he is actually the master of our senses, and only when we serve the master of the senses, and how do we serve him? With our desires. So we can choose. Actually, the mind only has this function here. The mind has two functions, Ichcha and Dvesha. Ichcha, Dvesha, Samutana, said in Bhagavad Gita, is only two things. Ichcha, I want something, and Dvesha, I hate something. Yeah. Or rejecting. Yeah. So how do we serve? How do we choose what we want and what we don't want? That is given in the Sharanagati verse, which goes like this. Um, Pratikulasya Varjanam, that things which are against Krishna consciousness that we reject. So that is the Dvesha, in other words. We hate things which are going against Krishna consciousness. So for example, seeing a video on YouTube which is not for Krishna, that we hate. We don't do that. and and a video for Krishna on YouTube, that we love, right? That we accept, that we give thumbs up. Yep. So how is that said again? Sankalpa, yeah. Pratukolasya. Anukulena Sankalpa. That which is favorable, Anukul, Krishna, that is Sankalpa, we are determined to do that. For example, all the devotees here, if there is any service in the temple, we are determined to do that, to go and do it because it's favorable for Krishna. And Pratikulyasya Vardhanam, and that which is not favorable, for example, anything which is in the lower good, like destruction, we are completely rejecting destructive things like the drugs or things like this. And in that way, we can control our senses. It's easy if you think about it like that, that whatever we do, we try and do it for Krishna. Sometimes we may slip, but that is said it's because of the bad previous habit. It's still, some what do you call this? Samskaras, yeah. But as we continue doing the service, what is happening? Rasovajam, rasopyasas. Even if you have some bad taste for old bad habits, param drishtva nivartante. Nivartante means exactly the same as when you have the fan and you plug out the fan will still go a little bit, but it will not keep on spinning. Vartanta means to spin or keep on going like that. But nivartante means you take it out and it will stop its activity. Param drishtva, because we have the higher. So that's the way to control the senses by getting the higher realization and desire. So thank you so much. And who will give us that higher realization and desire? Rupa Goswami. And which book is going to teach us that? The Nectar of Instruction. So thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.